Hello and welcome to Real Watchers Movie Club. My name is Garrett.
And I'm Kevin.
And we're your hosts. Movie Club is a show every week where we pick a movie and discuss it just like a book club. On today's show, we are starting our March month-long theme of my birthday. So they're going to be all my picks and movies that I love. And this week, our film is the Japanese feel-good drama Perfect Days. Our thoughts and more coming up on Movie Club. Released in 2023, Perfect Days was directed by Wim Wenders and stars Koji Yakusho, Tokyo Emoto, and Arisa Nakano. Sorry for any mispronunciation of those names. Hirayama is content with his life as a toilet cleaner in Tokyo. Outside of his structured routine, he cherishes music on cassette tapes, books, and taking photos of trees. Through unexpected encounters, he reflects on finding beauty in the world. The film currently has a 4.3 out of 5 on Letterboxd and is ranked number 150 on its top 250. The film was nominated for 1 Academy Award for Best International Feature Film. Before we dive into our thoughts, though, we do want to issue a spoiler warning for the movie if you've never seen it before. You might want to skip to, or pause it, not skip. Don't never skip our videos. Pause the video, go and watch it. It's currently available on Hulu or Disney Plus, or both, depending on where you are. So once you've watched it, come back, and then we'd love to have you here. But stay tuned to the end of the show to find out what movie we're covering next week, because it's a change in genre and tone. Alrighty, Kevin. So We're here with my first birthday month pick, which is Perfect Days. I picked this movie because of all the movies that I watched last year in 2025 for the first time, I thought that this was the best one. We just had it on our awards show. So it's a movie that I'm sure you've heard about many times here on the channel.
Oh yes.
And I will talk about it many more times than any other content or any chance I have to talk about some of my favorite movies of all time, which is a spoiler on how I feel about this movie. Obviously, it's my month, so I picked it. So you know how I'm going to feel about a movie that I pick during my birthday month.
This month.
But besides me talking about it, Kevin, had you ever heard about it before or seen it anywhere?
Yeah, so I've definitely heard about it before, and I've also seen a trailer for it when we went to the theaters. I think this was a last year movie, correct?
This was during the
2 years.
This would have been during the 2024 Academy Awards.
Yeah.
So,
gotcha. Yeah, so I definitely have, but the trailer did look intriguing whenever it did pull up on the screen.
Well, there you go. Well, let's go ahead and dive into it. So, obviously, like I said earlier, I really like this movie. And the kind of my goal with this month is to pick movies that either you haven't seen before or are just personal favorites of mine. Well, both, really. They're going to be favorite movies that you've never seen before. And then really kind of getting your first reactions to it. So why don't you go ahead and start us off? This was your first time watching Perfect Days. What'd you think of it?
I thought it looked absolutely beautiful, and the main character is just so down to earth. He doesn't, to put it nicely, but he doesn't give a fuck about anything, because he's intent with what he put himself in, which is really cool. It's just, I didn't know what to expect coming into this. I thought there would be a lot more dialogue than there was, because in the first hour of this movie, there's hardly any dialogue in here, but you're there for the experience, his everyday life. And I'll tell you what I felt like why this movie is called this later in the video, because I don't want to spoil it right now. But I thought it was absolutely beautiful, and I liked how old school he was. But then when his his niece shows up, yeah, how cool it was that he had all of this stuff and she had it as well. So that was a good little, not twist to the story, but a good
bit of connection
addition. Yeah.
So I mean, I it's interesting. So I'm gonna kind of side tangent for a bit, but I swear it all makes sense, right? So when I first watched this movie last year, I was in a bad place, not like the worst place I've ever been in, but I was not doing that well. And this movie came at the right time where I didn't like doing the monotonous things, the tedious things. Everything felt not worth doing.
Yeah.
And I still struggle with this, but like I felt very alone. And this movie felt like the remedy to that for me, where like it's okay to be alone. It's okay to revel in the things that are monotonous, to take joy in waking up at the same time, in spraying your little bonsai trees, in reading that book, in listening to that cassette tape. It's okay to do those tasks. It's okay to take care of yourself. You don't have to prove anything to anyone except for yourself. And like that really stuck with me for a while. And this movie always comes to my mind when I get into a rut, because I kind of see myself, a lot of myself in Hirayama.
Okay.
I mean, I don't work cleaning public toilets. Although it sounds like a job I would love to do in Japan because of how nice those toilets are.
Exactly. I was going to say the toilets in Japan are absolutely maybe in the public toilets, not just, and that was like, so cool.
It's like going into a McDonald's and having like a 5-star hotel bathroom. But it just, the movie on a core emotional level, I think of all the movies we've talked about on Movie Club, this one really strikes me the hardest in terms of emotions. I think also like It's Such a Beautiful Day is up there for me too, where it really kind of hits me internally. And I think that the movies that are best do that, right? Okay. Like they're the ones that strike you on a deeper level, on a more emotional level. And so that movie does this for me. Now, side tangent aside, emotional side, like obviously that is important and that should be a part of any film criticism, is how you feel about the movie and how a movie makes you feel. But I also kind of want to talk a little bit more about like the more objective stuff. You mentioned this movie is gorgeous. Turns out Wim Wenders, who's one of the best indie filmmakers of all time, turns out he knows how to make a movie look good. But I also really like how this movie, there's really no music. There's songs that are used when he's listening to cassette tapes and stuff, but there's no orchestral music.
No, there's not. And I liked the different song choices for each time you get in the car, because it's a new day every single time, which is awesome. So that's what I got from that. But there's no I call it background music when he's cleaning the toilets or just taking a picture of the trees or anything like that. It's just pure like nature sound.
Yes, or ambient noise. I think it's probably the best, because there's also city noise. There's just people walking and talking. Like there's all sorts of things, and I think that that's really brilliant. And I especially love the sequences where like he's taking his lunch break, whatever, and he just goes out and sits amongst the trees, because it's very peaceful. And like later on when he shares those moments with his niece, I think that it's also really powerful too, because like she's kind of understanding, like in the hustle and bustle of life in Tokyo or in any other major city, things are going to be going at a mile a minute, where this was kind of like a nice moment to sit down and have it slow down and not
and we got to see that too, because her mom is kind of more strict and he's more laid back, even though they don't like. That was kind of depressing too, when we realized that the main character and his sister don't really talk anymore because of the difference in personalities, I feel like, as well. And the niece is more like Koji's character and not like her mom. And that was pretty sad when he hugs her for the first time in like a long time, I feel like
definitely sad,
talk to her for a long time.
Sad, but also kind of happy, like, because it's a good thing.
Like joyful.
And it's kind of nice that he has that connection too.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But I want to get back to the music. I love the music choices in
Oh
here.
yeah.
It's nothing's on a repeat, if that makes sense. Like it's not the same genre every single time when
Hmm.
he puts a cassette in. And when watching this movie, I was trying to think of what type of music he would be into, and it's just all like classic hits and everything because again, they're all on cassettes. And then when
Hmm.
his uh his coworker sees all the cassettes, they're like, "Oh my gosh, these are like ancient and vintage and stuff." And they tried to pawn it and broke it. This one's $120, but it's not about the money he's chasing after. It's about just the experience that you get every single day waking up.
Hmm. You're kind of treating every day as a new opportunity, or
Mhm.
some people would say like a gift,
Mhm.
or whatever it might be. And yeah, like I think the songs are also good too. Obviously, there's the you know like I forget the name of the song and who sung it, but like the one that's like it's such a perfect day.
Oh,
I'm glad I
mhm.
could spend it with you or whatever, which is in the trailer. It's also in the movie. Obviously, it makes sense because the movie's named Perfect Days. Um, but I really want to talk about the. I mean, everything in this movie is great, but the
Hmm.
single best part of this movie, which is Koji Yakusho as I don't want to get the name wrong. Hirayama, the main character.
Oh, so good.
One of the best performances, I think, just because there's emotions that
Mhm.
are there, but there's also like the moments when he's just by himself, and there's those moments of where you can tell that he's satisfied, and but for an activity that to some of us may look lonely or boring or whatever, but
Mhm.
like there's a moment where he'll just sit there and just be content, and he nails that. And
Well, it's saying on that when he gets his photos developed and he has the two boxes which are a bad box and a good box pretty much, and then he rips up the ones that doesn't use. He's satisfied with all his pictures he's taken, but as soon as they're processed, then he starts to filter them out and see which ones he likes. And I did like um the transitioning with some of the photos into his niece's face and stuff like that was very interesting. It was a different way to bring the story forward as well.
mhm,
But he's just, I mean, yeah, I'm looking at the Perfect Days poster right now to make sure know everybody's name. But he's just sitting there on a bench looking up at the trees and smiling, and it's like he just takes every day one step at a or one day at a time, and it doesn't nothing's gonna bother him.
yeah, it's I think in a time where we get a lot of movies that are so hyper action or hyper violent
Mhm.
or hyper drama or whatever, I think he's a big reason for why this movie feels so different and it feels so calming.
Mhm.
Like there's a lot of times where people talk about like cozy movies or comfy movies or
Yeah,
whatever you
yeah.
want to call them. This is a movie that feels like a warm blanket.
Yeah,
And
it
it
does.
has moments where it's like a little bit more dramatic, right? Like with his niece coming by and then ultimately having to go home, or when the person doesn't return what they borrow, or whatever it could be, right?
Mhm.
But he doesn't let that get to him. He just keeps going, and by the end of it, you're happy, he's happy. Um, it's great. It's a reminder, I think, that I think another thing that I take away from this too is that there are so many perceptions and things that people have that they think leads to a happy life or a fulfilling life or
Mm,
whatever. Like there's, you need to have kids, you need to get married, you need to do this or whatever. But
mhm.
this movie is really the antithesis to that, where you make your own life.
Decisions. Yeah.
Yeah, you make your own decisions. If something makes someone happy but doesn't make you happy, don't do it. Obviously,
Mhm.
well, you do the important things, do your taxes and all that kind of stuff. But like,
I
you know,
don't know, fraud's pretty fun.
I mean, I don't know. IRS don't audit me, but like, do the things that make you happy, and you know, if you don't want kids, don't have kids. If you don't want to get married, don't get married. If it's not in the cards for you, it may not happen. Just enjoy what you have and make the most of it. And I think this movie is a nice reminder of that. It's kind of
Well,
it's a movie where I usually need to go to it when I'm in a funk.
Well, and another thing is too, he does have like a romance in this with the other cleaning person while they're
Yeah,
playing cute tic tac toe with the paper, which is adorable. And they always sit kind of next to each other at lunch and stuff like that. But it shows he's content with what he puts out on the table. I feel like he's like, yeah, I don't need to pursue anymore because I like where it's at right now.
yeah. The tic tac toe thing never really struck me as like romantic. It was just kind of like one of those sweet little things that just
Yeah.
kind of happened, like a pen pal or whatever.
Hmm.
But I could see how it could be, taken that way. Um, but yeah, like it's just about finding like there may not be happiness in the conventional things.
Mm-mm.
You may not find happiness in marriage or with kids or by going to school or working a certain kind of job. Um, you have to go out and find it and keep doing it
Hmm.
because and I think that that's a beautiful thing. Like I don't know how else to say it, but like
I mean, most people don't want to be cleaning toilets all the time, but he finds the joy in that because he makes it look spotless, and that's what makes his day go by faster. I feel like.
mhm. Yeah, it kind of gives a meaning, right? Like that. It's for a lot of us, right? Like our job is our way to pay for where we live and the things that we eat and whatever. But it's also like what funds our ability to be happy and to feel complete sometimes,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Whether it's music or for like us, it's movies
Hmm.
or whatever else it could be. Like it gives us the ability to do that. And even if you don't have the most money in the world, like Hirayama, you can find happiness and beauty in the things that are public spaces or even just interactions with other people. Like
Hmm.
it's everywhere.
It,
And
it, it
so,
is it is everywhere, and for sometimes you just have to find that right day that it comes out too. So.
alrighty, so let's go ahead and get to our final thoughts and score for Perfect Days. I mean, obviously, if you watch our live stream, I've already talked about this last year, so you already know my score. But I do think that this movie means a lot to me on an emotional level. It's not every time where I feel like a lot of the movies that we watch are kind of shots of adrenaline or
Mhm.
are like
Overstimulated.
overstimulating. I would say, like, having watched a lot of documentaries recently, there's definitely a lot of things to make you feel like the world is a really shitty place. This
Hmm.
movie feels like the antidote to that, and it's a movie that I often revisit just to try and again feel like I'm putting on a warm blanket or like I'm getting a hug,
Hmm.
And so I love this movie. It makes me want to be better and to do things better and to see things in a better light. And I think when it has an emotional effect on me like that, it's hard not to give it a high score.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I have this at a perfect 100 out of 100. It's a 5-star film for me. I literally, as soon as I finished watching it last year, I ordered it, and it's been on my shelf ever since. I've cracked that case open, multiple times. I love it. Again, I'm picking movies that I love this whole month,
Hmm.
and like I hope it's easy to see why people
Yeah.
love this movie. So, what
Hmm.
about you, Kevin?
Yeah. So again, not to just repeat what you said, but I really enjoyed this movie. I love the cinematography and the scenery of this movie is absolutely gorgeous, and just the simplicity of this movie makes it gorgeous as well. Um, Koji as the main character is absolutely fantastic. You just feel he's just a vibey guy. That's what I got from him, and I would love to vibe with him any day of the year. So I also gave it a pretty high score. I gave it an 98 out of 100. Sorry. Just got dyslexia hit there, which is 4.5 stars out of 5.
Alrighty. So there you are. The question now falls to you. What do you think of perfect days, go ahead and leave those comments down in the comment section down below. But beware, if you give it anything less than a 95, I will personally find you. No, I'm just kidding. But want to hear what you have to say about it. Just remember to be respectful of anyone else because it's not that hard. Hey, think of what Hirayama teaches us. But next week, we're going to continue our month-long theme of my birthday, picking movies that I love. And the next film is going to be the sci-fi classic from the 1950s, The Day the Earth Stood Still. So can't wait to talk about that with Kevin next time. Make sure to watch it before next week so you are not spoiled. But that's going to bring us to an end for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're following us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all those places, because, you never know what we're going to post. But we also have our weekly live stream every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We should love to have you join us because we talk about movie news, reviews, and so much more. And then this show goes live every single Friday at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So thanks so much for watching. And until next time, make sure to keep those eyes on the screen.